All right. Well, we're now up to the wiki instructions, first draft to our wikiHow for this week. So we're I don't know if this will be the last video. I said I'd probably come out with the video on Thursday, giving an update on the wikiHow justification of instructions, or your blog post number 3. As soon as I've looked at everybody's, to kind of give a general announcement to for those things. So I should be back and see you then, or you'll see me anyway. All right, so I'll minimize down here. So for Sunday, it says post initial draft of instructions to the wikiHow. So, and I got this bolded. Be sure to use the following code in use at the top of your instructions. This way you'll be able to continue working on them until your final draft is ready. I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure that that's all you need to do, is just put that in use at the top there. And I think, anyway, I'll verify that, but I know that there's an in-use component there, so just be aware that there's an in-use, and I'll update if it's something different. I'm waiting to find out myself. Okay, so make sure that you create your account. So when you go down here and you're on your wikiHow user's manual and you're looking at the format guide and how to get started, and when you look at these articles right in this section here, so obviously the first thing you want to do is you want to create your account, get all that stuff kind of set up, and then obviously you have your blog post number 3, and then I will get back with you on those on Thursday, and so you'll know. And then there are some tips and stuff in there on how to write an article, like start an outline and doing some things of that nature. So, so let's look at the instructions real quick. Again, I will try to keep this video, trying to keep these videos short. Sometimes it's hard to do so. So, research which you're doing now to figure out what it is that you want. Graphics, graphics can be kind of a tough thing when we're looking at this. So I always encourage, when I spoke in the last, I was at the the second video for this week, and I talked about the nacho example. So I said, one thing about doing something that I can perform myself. So if I already how to make let's say Super Bowl nachos or macho nachos or whatever, and I could be making the nachos myself, take the photographs, upload those up to Wikipedia, and not have to worry about if there are any copyright issues, because it's one thing that will get you on this assignment is trying to just go out and use Google Images on Google and just taking any images, because you can't do that for this assignment. They either need to be original, or you need to make sure that they are not copywritten. All right, so you need to find out what their use is and what you can use it for, etc. So, and I'll talk about graphics a little bit more. So for this week, you want to be thinking about graphics ahead of time, because you're going to need 12 steps minimum, and you ought to at least have a graphic per step, one graphic per step. Because the visuals down here in the instructions, it says include at least 3 graphics per page, and this is when I believe that they copied this over from when this used to be a page assignment before, when you turned in 2 different things. So it's basically 1 graphic per page. So make note of that. And I'll see if I can adjust those instructions right there. Don't necessarily worry about where this says 3 to 4 pages, etc. What I'm more concerned about is that you have a sufficient superstructure within the wikiHow system. All right, when you learn about the superstructure for this week, you're going to have these certain elements, and you're going to need to have them done a certain way. And you're going to look at other wikiHow instruction sets. I highly recommend. So when you decide on like if I was doing the nacho one, let's say I decided to do the beef nachos, I could go look and see some of the other published wikiHow articles dealing with nachos. And then I could decide from there, and then that would kind of inform me, okay, here's how I would write the first part of the superstructure, here's how I'd write the second part, the third part, the fourth part, the fifth part, and so forth, okay? And I could use that kind of as an idea of how to think about how successful articles that were published in this genre of the wikiHow instruction set, it's a specific genre, how they've been successful, and use that to my advantage. So I encourage you to do the same when you're looking at your instruction sets, okay? And so you want to look at Anderson's chapter 14 and chapter 28 in Appendix A, and then of course your wikiHow instruction information to help you, and be sure to use the in use. And I will be back with you to make sure. I'm not for sure about the asterisks on either side. They might be the equal sign or whatever. So, but I will let you know that soon. Okay, so The idea is you'll have your, let me get back to the middle here, you have your topic to me on Wednesday. I'll approve it, hopefully, or ask you further questions about it, or make sure that we have it done on Thursday at some point. And then you'll take your quiz by Friday, and then you'll be working on getting your instruction set ready. Now, the biggest thing I'm concerned about as far as your first set of instructions for Sunday is that you at least have your steps outlined and as much of that complete. I'm not necessarily concerned about photographs or graphics or visuals just yet, because you'll have some time to put those together. But if you can get the visuals done, all the more better. Okay, so having as completed of a draft as possible always allows me to provide greater feedback. All right, I think we've got everything for week 4 for the most part, at least as far as how at least for the wikiHow instructions. And then of course I'll be back with you on Thursday. And of course, as always, if you need anything, do not hesitate to let me know. I will be back with you as soon as humanly possible this week. All right, guys. Thank you for everything. Talk to you soon. Have a great week.